Welcome to the Never Been Promoted podcast and YouTube channel. I'm on a mission to help you cut the time to all the things that are holding you back so you can unleash your entrepreneur. Hey, welcome to Never Been Promoted. I'm your host, Thomas Helfrich. We are going to be talking today with Sean Edwards. He is the balloon guy, and we're going to hear about how you inflate your creativity. And yes, puns intended. I know it's cheesy, but curious enough, you can actually inflate a balloon with cheese. If you take it's in a can, I forget the name of it. You just go like this and it shoots it in there. It's nasty. You pop that thing, people don't expect it. Anyway. I bet Sean didn't know that, and I think he's going to probably try it. It's an exploding cheese whiz. That's what it is. Cheese whiz, the little aerosol thing. You put it in a balloon, you can create a balloon bomb. Just saying, try it at home. It's great. We're going to learn about his business today, and learn what kind of ties, so to speak, he had to cut to get it off the ground. Did it again, and finally, how much helium can you have till you actually are probably in need of medical care? So we're going to go through how much is too much. I'm just saying, it's gonna be fun. If this is your first time here, I hope it's the first of many. And if you can take a minute, go to youtube.com, subscribe at Never Been Promoted. Or if you listen to the podcast, take a moment, give it a 5-star rating. If you don't like it, add a 5-star level. You email me, or reach out to me on LinkedIn. You can complain and all this. It'd be great. All right, let's get enough of that shameless plug stuff. Let's go ahead and bring on our guest here, Mr. Sean Edwards. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
It's fun. I love, I'm just gonna keep finding puns throughout the day around balloons. But the cheese whiz thing works. I doubt you've tried that.
I've never tried that. I've never even heard that before. I'm definitely gonna
try like the aerosol cheese whiz, like this.
You know what? That's amazing. You know what else it made me think of is like you could try it with whipped cream.
Exactly.
What else comes with it in an aerosol can that's food, or like a foam or like a slime would be cool.
Make sure it's just not inflatable. But yes, or not inflatable, flammable. Like WD-40 is a poor choice.
Oh yeah.
It's like napalm. I'm just giving you reveals what you do when you live in the middle of nowhere, Illinois. Growing up, you just blow things up because it's like, well, we got fire, we got some gas. What do we do? Burn the yard down. Just whatever. Parents are pissed. Sean, do you want to take a minute and just maybe? You're in LA, right? Sorry.
Yeah, I live in Los Angeles. I've lived here for like 20 years. I started my business in, like 2009, really humbly, and it's been a really slow grind, but slowly I've become one of the top balloon companies here in Los Angeles. So I'm a balloon.
Is it a slow grind or a slow rise?
Okay, sure. A slow rise. I like that. A slow rise with helium balloons.
I mean, AI is listening, so we need to make sure we put things all around balloon lingo. So
I'll try and put in as many puns as possible.
Honestly, I feel like there's probably one in the next word of. I feel like this show could pop.
It's already popped. Yeah.
I don't know why it's so much fun today. Oh my God, if I was drinking, this would be way funnier.
One this morning.
Hi, listen, can you set this up? You've been with LA for 20 years. So I expect like all kinds of crazy things out of LA because at some point, like, you people are like, all right, I'm not doing acting. I got my role and I paid $6. My God, that was a lot of years for nothing. People get creative out there. The people have side hustles. People come up with stuff to do. I've never even heard of a balloon business and balloon kind of art is and you've done some cool stuff. So can you just set up your journey a little bit of how you floated into this?
Sure. So, I mean, I started, like I said, really small. When I was a kid, my parents got me like a little balloon kit and I got super into it. And here in LA, once I got out of college, I was like waiting tables and I had always kind of done balloon animals for like extra money. And one day when I was waiting tables, the chef brought me over. It was at this place called the Bazaar in Los Angeles, which is like this really trendy restaurant. I don't think it's open anymore, but it's by Jose Andres, and they had like circus performers and all this stuff. So it fit right in to have balloon animals in the dining room. The chef was like, "Will you do balloon animals in the dining room tonight?" And so I was like, "Okay." So I grabbed my kit, and the only thing he told me was like just small stuff, you know. So I didn't listen to that, and I did like crazy, like huge hats and wearables and all this stuff, and people were like applauding and like tipping me $100 bills and all this stuff. And the chef got really mad, sent me home. But it was a great experience because I was like, you know, why am I wasting my time in this restaurant? I could be pursuing my passion and doing, you know, balloons. And so I quit my job the next day, and I had seen at a local mall that somebody was doing like, you know, those hand wax things where you dip your hand in wax and it comes out and you like make a sculpture and do designs on it. Yeah. So I called the mall and I said like, hey, like I'd like to sell balloons at, you know, a little kiosk there. And so that's how my business in California started, was just like I sold balloons to people walking by at the mall. Slowly, I built like a little client list. From there, so I was doing balloon animals. I got so busy, people, I had to hire on help. Because I couldn't do all the parties myself. Then people started asking me to do larger projects like decor. And so I just started saying yes to everything. And slowly, I built myself a business, and now we offer, you know, balloon arches and all this stuff. And I've gotten to work for some really cool people like Beyonce and Lady Gaga, and like, I mean, there's tons of celebrities in Los Angeles. So, you know, you throw a rock and you might hit one. So I've been really fortunate to have some really cool opportunities, but I came from really humble beginnings. So it was a slow rise.
So when you said balloon kit, I was like, one thing what that is, that's how to tie animals and stuff. What's the most complicated animal to make? Like the one when people they order it and you're like, oh.
I guess anything that's like that I haven't done before, right? People are always like, make me a dress, or you know, I'm trying to think like I don't know, gladiators just came out. They're like, will you make me a gladiator? Whatever. Kids don't usually ask for gladiators, but
if you give me a leafy sea dragon, you could do
it. Maybe, yeah. I'd have to look up a picture, but yeah.
Coolest animal on the planet by far. If you do not know what a leafy sea dragon is, just hit pause, take a moment. Even if you're driving, it's worth wrecking your car over to go look at this thing. You would never know this animal existed. It's crazy. You're like, what freaking world did that thing come from? Seriously, it's crazy. Is there a moment when you're like when we were going, you're like we're family, like you're gonna do what? your job's gonna be what exactly?
Yeah, I mean when I first started doing the balloons, my parents hated it because like there was just popping all the time, you know. My room was in the bottom floor of the house, and they would just yell at me like, Sean, give it a rest. Like, you know, they did not like it. But once I started making money at it and stopped asking for allowance, they were good with that. So yeah.
Yeah, you're like, I'm not gonna, Dad, you gotta break eggs to make an omelet, right? We're gonna pop some balloons and learn how to tie this freaking scorpion. Okay, it's got a horn on it. Like I think a scorpion would be cool. You don't know a scorpion?
I have done a scorpion. It is really cool.
I feel like you should have brought a balloon on now. You should have made something for us. But
you know what? You're totally right. That's my bad.
Like a noose. Can you do a noose?
What's that? A noose? Yeah, it is Monday. We usually do that on Fridays.
we wait usually the weekend when no one's called us to go do anything, or you get invited to the party you thought you were going to get invited. That's when you do it. Listen, it's Monday, guys. I don't know when you guys will hear this. It's around the holidays right now in December. I get cheeky this time of year. I just like it's like the end of the year. It's like the 400th episode. I just start saying shit that I probably shouldn't, and that's just how it's going to be. It's going to be fun.
Episode. That's insane. Congrats.
Yeah, well, I think so. People, never been promoted. We did well over 300, deep 300s. I don't know what number we're at this point. We only released about 160 this year, And I had signed up my mind beginning of the year to do 50. I was like, take that. Like a friend of mine said, this is my personality. Anything worth doing is worth overdoing. So let's work out twice a day if we have to, or not at all.
Love it.
What was the biggest breakthrough for your business? Like, what was the, oh man, I could really actually get out of just like, replacing, let's say, waiter money with like, this is a real thing I can buy a house one day with. Like, what was, did you have a couple moments like that in your journey?
Yeah, I think I said like earlier, I started saying yes to everything. And I feel like that was a really big breakthrough moment. Like, for a while, I just wanted to keep my business kind of small and have it be like, not work too hard. And then I was like, you know what, I could really give this a shot and make this something cool. So once I started really focusing and committing to what I wanted to do with it and like my goals and aspirations for my life, once I had that like why and what I wanted to accomplish, things really started to click into place. And, a balloon business obviously isn't a typical business, but it operates like any other business. You have to take risks and you have to work hard and you have to be motivated and you have to surround yourself with people that are better than you and more talented than you and know more than you do and, work hard and all that stuff. So that's what I try and do. I just try and focus and keep moving forward. And I feel like once I started saying yes was really when things started to click into place. And, one thing that we do that's cool and sets us apart from other balloon decor companies, especially is a lot of places, they have things that they do and they stay in that box. Well, if a client comes to me and is like, build me the Eiffel Tower, on top of the Eiffel Tower, we'd be like, okay, sure, that's going to cost this much money. We try not to say no. We try and say yes and just figure it out after we get the job.
Right.
So,
sell it, then figure out how to deliver it. Have you got the job though? You were like, you couldn't deliver it. Like, have you gotten to that situation? You're like, or the client was like, that is not what I wanted. And you're like, I really feel like that's good.
Thankfully, no.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's a sign of true talent that you can just figure it out enough where, I mean, I hear if someone goes, hey, I want balloons in my fill in the blank wedding or party or whatever, and I feel like that person's already at a super high level of maintenance anyway. And so I'm like, I feel like they're just criticisms coming no matter how perfect. So it's like, do you feel like you're in sometimes that thankless art, or do you feel like people are like, holy shit, I never knew you could do that with balloons?
No, actually, I feel like people are always super responsive to what we do in a positive way. Like,
Awesome.
all of our clients are great. I will say, yeah, of course, like we live in a world where, people have high expectations, and so I'm used to dealing with clients that we call them instead of VIPs, very important, very individual people. Because everyone's an individual and everyone has their own needs. You don't know where people are coming from. You don't know what their motivations are. So we try and be compassionate. And yes, some clients can be particular, but it's our job. And what I try and focus on at the end of the day is like, it's my job to make people happy. And that's what I really enjoy doing. Yeah. So even though it may be difficult at times, with that end goal in mind, it makes me feel good about what I do with my day.
Do you have to like go underground to do like a Mylar balloon presentation in like California? I believe they're illegal, right?
Well, yeah. So places like Party City and they don't weight the balloons properly. So the problem is that people go buy Mylar balloons and they release them into the air and then they hit a power line and, power goes out everywhere. But Mylars themselves are not bad. It's just what people do with them. So you have to really.
Is that the problem? Sorry, but I thought it was more an environmental thing. It's because they can get caught in power lines and because they're metal, they can trigger a outage.
Well, the thing is with Mylars, you can reuse them. So you can deflate them, you can fold them up, put them in a drawer and reuse it the next year. So that's great. With latex, you can't do that. But balloons aren't inherently bad for the environment. Latex balloons are harvested from rubber trees, and it does not harm the tree when you harvest that rubber. It's not bad for the tree, and in fact, like, the balloon community plants a ton of trees, so that's great for the environment.
I didn't know that. I didn't know you could reuse a Mylar. I didn't. Well, I would. Does latex break down? I don't even know.
It
I've never buried it in here. I just throw it in the ocean. I think I was like supposed.
Yeah, don't do that.
One of my favorite things to do with the balloon, though, is in slow motion. You fill it up, you put it on the side of someone's head, and you just like let it go, and just look at the reaction and see, because you just don't know where it's going to end up. It's like a hole up there is going to snap off. It's a funny video every time. I love it, and my kids think it's the most hilarious thing ever. We just do it.
I love that. I love that. These are things I've never tried with balloons.
You've never fill the balloon up and just let it go in your head in slow motion and film the person's reaction in slow motion, and it's just like it's so much fun. And if you fill it with Cheese Whiz, oh man,
you got to do like a follow-up video, or we have to do a follow-up video where we both bring balloons and show people what we can do with them.
He has no idea what I filled in with it, and he's like, I put in chocolate pudding. It's gonna look like it's taking a dump, and you're like, whoa. It's gonna look like a bad day at Whataburger. Wait, what's the burger? Anyway, sorry, we're not talking about burgers today. You said you went to work for Lady Gaga and Beyonce. Tell me about those kind of celebrity jobs. That sounds interesting.
Yeah. Well, half the time you don't meet them, which is really funny. So you can be like, well, I work for them, and people are like, oh my God, how were they? And you're like, I don't know. But
I'm not sure I want to meet them.
But I did meet Lady Gaga, and I was twisting balloons. And it was funny because I was on a patio. It was around this time of year, actually. It may have been for a New Year's or a holiday party or something like that. And I was like making balloons. I didn't really know. I didn't know who I was working for. And someone that looked like Lady Gaga came out and started chain smoking, and
you just grabbed that. You just like had one lit up for the next one was done.
yeah, I mean, she just was chain smoking, like one after the other. I was like talking to somebody. It was a very, very small party. I was talking to somebody, and I honestly thought that she was like a cover artist because she was talking about doing her songs, but I didn't believe in my wildest imagination that it could actually be Lady Gaga. So somebody came up to me a little while later and was like, I had made them a balloon jetpack, and they said, I can't believe I got my picture taken with Lady Gaga in a balloon jetpack. And I was like, wait, so that was Lady Gaga? And I was blown away. But she's really nice, and I made her like a balloon dog, and I was very like, looking back on it, I was kind of embarrassed because I like went right up to her and I was like, what would you like? Can I make you and I was very animated, and she was like, well, I'll take a dog on a leash, but
I'll take a cigarette holder.
Yeah. But I mean, it's great working with celebrities. I got to work for Angelina Jolie, and at her house, she has a house. I don't think she has it anymore, but it was in Los Feliz. And I made her like some fairy wings, and I find most of the time celebrities are great to work with. I think because they're afraid to have people say that they're not fun or not nice to work with. So they're always nice. Never worked with a celebrity that's been rude at all.
Well, from an entrepreneurial standpoint, right? How did you get that job? I guess is one thing, because in your world of it seems like a boutique type of thing. Being the guy that's worked with celebrities would really help your business, right? Like to me, I'm like thinking, who am I going to hire? I'm going to hire the balloon guy that's worked with these people you just you talked about. But how do you even go about finding that job?
I feel like you focus on in my case, your craft or on your business, and you try and be the best at it that you can. I mean, I didn't, I didn't seek out like, oh, let me go work for, sorry, my dog. It's my dog Chance. He's the best helper.
He's a cute moment.
But no, I didn't try and seek out celebrities or let me go work for this person. I think I just tried to be really good at what I do. And from that came, people wanted to work with me,
Yeah, well, I mean, I think you're hitting it, and I'm glad you answered it that way, because it's not like you probably if you seek after that, you don't find it if you suck, but there's probably some strategy involved, right? You have to be great at what you do. I think that's the takeaway there, is just be really good at what you do. Because you're in LA and your position, like you said, you can throw a stone and hit a celebrity probably, but you keep doing really good and you're in the community of it, so to speak. You're probably gonna run into it. If you're in the middle of Iowa, probably not. That's my point. And you can be really good at what you do. So you have to kind of have twofold of that. If you want to work with a certain type of client, you got to be present. You got to be on, seen and heard. And when you're heard, you better be really good at what you do. So good for you. I mean, and I would think that's the right answer for most entrepreneurs. Just be really good at what you do and surround yourself with the right people to get out and find opportunity. Maybe not be so animated next time you meet Lady Gaga. Maybe you feel like, I'm not sure I can please you.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I'm not sure you can have this. Create FOMO for it right there. I can't. I don't know.
I do have a funny story about not exactly a celebrity, but they were an heiress. I don't think they live here anymore, but they lived in this really expensive neighborhood called Holmby Hills, and it's like one of the most expensive neighborhoods to live in Los Angeles. And I was doing balloon decorations for them, and they had a staff of like 50 people, like butlers and like multiple butlers and 20 different security guards. And it was insane. And it was a really difficult job, because when you entered the house, they were like, you can't make any noise. You can't talk. You can't anything. They're like, right this way. All right, bring it over here. And like, you're just, these are balloons. Like, I was so scared one was going to pop. So that was a really tough job.
Did they say why you can't talk or make noise?
I think it's out of respect, because I think they want, if you can afford it, you hire like the best like house and estate management team. And I think they're just trained to try and be invisible, but just like do as much for you as they can. So I think that was I'm just guessing, they didn't tell me, but I would imagine that's why.
You're like, sign language required for this job.
That would have been really, really
though, at some point I would have been like, that's me. I'm an instigator. Can't even get mad at my son. Sometimes he's an instigator. I'm like, where does he get it? I get it. I would have popped the balloon for sure, 100%, just because I was told I couldn't.
Oh my gosh.
But you're a better guy than I am, Sean. I'll tell you that. When you're looking at your business, right, today, and what are you doing to kind of get, I guess there's two parts of the question. I'll start with the first one, which is, what are you doing to get better at your job? Like, what's required of you, or as a manager or a leader, or to become better at being the balloon guy?
That's a great question, actually. I feel like for me this year, especially, I really wanted to focus on the business of things. I focused for so long on the artistic side of things, how to make things epic and incredible and beautiful for my clients. And I feel like we've always had good customer service, but this year it's something I really wanted to focus on, is how do we take our customer service from good to great? And how do we make it a seamless experience for our clients, so that when they first reach out to us, they know that they're in great hands. We're the right people for the job. And from start to finish, they feel completely taken care of. And it's a positive experience for them. Because at the end of the day, my job and my motivation, like I said before, what motivates me, what gets me up in the morning, is making people happy. And that's what I strive to do. You know, adding a touch of magic, especially this time of year, adding a touch of joy, you know, to people's lives, because, you know, life can be tough. So let's make it a little better. And one way I can do that is with balloons and by delivering excellent customer service. And so that's what I've been really focused on this year, as well as sales, but is providing an excellent experience.
What's the do you have a bucket list job you'd want to do?
A bucket list job I would want to do. It's a great question. I really want to do like balloon drops for like my chosen political party. And or like, you know, just I would love to just do like balloon drops for like a great cause for the rest of my life. You know what I mean? I think that'd be so fun. Just like, is, you know, maybe I'll change my business name to the balloon drop guy. And I just do.
Okay.
Maybe I just have one client. They're my client. That's it. Like, you know, I don't know. I think that would be really cool. I think like I'd love to grow my business as big as possible, and have as much fun doing it as I can. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be.
And he works for, I think Delta or one of the airlines, and he flies around the entire world and just does balloons for them. They send like a jet to him, and he hops on this jet and goes and does their balloons, and they fly him home. Like Dubai, Thailand, like I'm just like, that's the dream job, right? That's so cool. I just think it's so cool.
Well, that's the dream job. Someone hires your company to go do, and they fly you to go do it.
Exactly.
So for a job, you literally can just show up with a briefcase, probably with all the balloons you'll ever need in it. Like, just open it up, and it's like 2 million balloons, all laid out like bills.
Yeah, gold 20 briefcase.
24K. Yeah. I'm telling you, you should just go buy the balloonguy.com. It's balloonguy.com. I'm trying to convince him just to go buck up the 20K and go buy it.
Yeah, if any of your viewers have an extra 20K sitting around, I will be happily take it. So please send me that, and you know, I'll put a sponsored by on my website.
Sponsored by the guy that bought my URL. Now he wants 40 for it. I'll go buy it. It's going to sell it to you at 40. I got to make a profit. I can't just mess around here.
Yeah, maybe I was talking about that.
Do you have any major threats to your business that you can think of besides pins and needles?
Pins, needles, scissors, yeah, sharp objects,
lasers.
Well, I will say, you brought it up earlier, but balloon bans are kind of a threat. You know, people think that balloons are bad for the environment, and they're not actually. So I feel like that's a threat. But I feel like with the proper education, both to our clients, to the public, to politicians and lawmakers, you'll realize that balloons are not a threat to the environment. And I think you can buy, excuse me, I'm sorry. You can buy like permanent decorations on Amazon, and people just throw that stuff away, and it ends up in a landfill. Balloons are small. Their footprint is tiny. So I think the benefit and the joy and the fun and everything that they provide outweighs the environmental impact that they have.
Yeah, well, who really knows how much it really impacts? Because there's so like, I think a balloon probably makes up 50 of them might be one water bottle. I mean, maybe, I don't know. It's like it's not even the same scale, like how small those things get.
Yeah.
I think a balloon would break down on the earth too, just to be fair. I really do.
They do. Yeah, there's a little bit of like discussion around whether or not they're biodegradable or not. There was a study done, I think in the 90s, but it was a very small study. and that said balloons are biodegradable at the same rate as an oak leaf in your backyard. And now there's science that says that, oh, that's not actually true. But so there's varying opinions on that. But I can tell you, like, of all the balloons I have in my office, if you squish them together and leave them for more than, a month or so, they start to break down. So I'm thinking that they are in fact biodegradable, but we need a much larger study to prove that.
You just need a celebrity to say it.
What's that?
They're not. You just need a celebrity to say they're biodegradable. That's a celebrity. They're biodegradable. I said it. I'm Matt Damon. Next thing you know, they are biodegradable. So, what is the what's the if you like I asked you kind of like you're working on to get better for yourself, and are there do you use like any technology to help facilitate the creative of what could be? Like, can AI help you in any way, or just like design, or tell me about what kind of tech helps you, capture your creativity and brain to scale?
That's a great question. I use AI all the time. I use AI to imagine what's possible with balloons, see what's not possible with balloons. I like AI because they make it so, it's so visually appealing when Chat GPT makes you a picture, or Meta. It's beautiful for the most time. And, that's what we're striving to create. So I like to get ideas. I like to look on Pinterest too. And I like to look on Google, and I like to get inspired from all places. So AI is just another resource, another place where I can go and put in information and see what ideas I can come up with through a different, technology brainstorming, I guess.
Yeah. Have you ever used it and be like, oh, that's so cool, I'm gonna go do that? Like, do you only do it for jobs like the design, or do you sometimes have a place where you can just practice and try new things for the purposes of promotion, marketing, or just see the art of possible? Like, do you have like a playpen?
I feel like we could utilize AI more. Uh, I'm computer savvy for sure, but I'm not the most advanced by any means, and I'm not the most advanced designer either in terms of computer tech. I can design whatever you want out of balloons, but I'm not a great like Photoshop guy. So AI, I can definitely get better at it. I'm just getting my feet wet there.
I feel like I don't know how I haven't fully stalked your socials, but this is such a visual business. I'd have to guess like your marketing, you keep it pretty colorful on Instagram, Pinterest, TikTok. Is that like your best channels for
oh yeah,
for promotion?
Yeah, I definitely feel like Instagram is like our number one resource. I feel like, well, our website's the best, but I feel like just like everybody, you go check Instagram to verify people, to make sure that they're legit. And so I feel like our Instagram is just a great calling card, great business card, where people can go check out some cool stuff that we've done. But we definitely want to get better at social media. It's not something that early on I focused on. So, we're definitely working on that. But yeah, Instagram is great. We love TikTok and Pinterest, but we're definitely working on expanding our social reach.
Yeah. Well, I look at your business as and just being in the space, right? Because I have a marketing agency. So I look at yours like, and I compare it to just even my own company here, like a podcast. It's just two heads. Who are those people? I don't care. They move on. But when you got like something beautiful and it's core to your business, Instagram, TikTok, Meta in general does so well when your posts are all unique and original, and that's actually core to what you sell. So when you have those two things come together, social media becomes super powerful. And then you back it up with the website, like you said, because that's what people go to end up buying, because that's not something someone's going to typically buy off an app. They're going to see it and go, I want that. How do I do that? They check your site out, and then they, so knowing that it comes from Metas or wherever else is huge. But you have such an advantage business of something unique, something visual, and it's core to what you actually sell. When you mix those pieces together and you learn how to maximize that, your marketing should just be so straightforward and fun and easy. You just go. Then when I was asking if you have a playpen, I mean like a studio where you can just go create new things for the sheer purposes of experimentation, social media, just content posted.
Yeah. We, I mean, I have like a little workshop here, and we're constantly creating and trying new things. And most of the time, it's like job specific, but there's a couple things in the pipeline that I'm really excited about. We're going to start doing like massive sculptures. So I have some really cool ideas for that. And as soon as we have time, we're going to hop on that. And
It's funny because just with different art, I don't know how, getting ready for this feed, I was looking at things like this. And one of the things that popped up in the art was this guy who basically gets a sheet of glass and he takes a hammer and he cracks it. And he creates an image of a human, like a famous people. He actually creates their, it's unbelievable how this guy, out of breaking glass. And it's truly like, oh my God, how would you even do that? Because you're still, it's like, you're not knowing how you're going to crack that thing. It's amazing to watch. And I think about like what you could do with like, a sculpture of someone's face and art, and like how hard that would be to pull off and get it the right height and the right depth. And oh man. So I think you're onto something with that, because that's a whole new game. If you could do like, 100 foot by 100 foot head of your favorite political candidate, let's say.
Yeah, exactly.
And hope that the other side doesn't shoot the eye out, right? All right, final question before I ask you one more question. Have you ever tried to float a baby with helium balloons?
Great question. Never been asked that one before.
Really? Oh my God, I think it's like the first thing I'm doing. It's like a baby reveal. You just put the baby in there and it just suspends the right way. Oh my gosh. You got to know this. Have you ever done it?
Never done it.
All right. Baby's, let's call it 9 pounds. Figure out the math. This could be a GPT question. We can do this right now. How many balloons, because it's got to carry its own weight, helium balloons, are you going to need? As we're talking here, all right, you're going to do a shameless plug right now. I'm going to go to GPT and ask it this question. For an 8-pound baby, how many helium balloons, latex balloons with strings, am I going to need to float that baby, including the weighted? All right, your shameless plug time. You got 90 seconds. Talk about who you want to get a hold of, where you want to go do it. I'm going to go do a little GPT.
What? I'm sorry?
You're going to do a shameless plug while I go to GPT and ask it that question. So you got 90 seconds. So you got to fill the air now.
Oh my God. Okay. My show now.
Right, sure.
It's so funny. Yeah. I mean, what am I going to talk about? Please visit.
Just do a shameless plug for your business.
Yeah. Please visit. It's down here, theballoonguy.la.com, and check us out. Subscribe to our email newsletter. And please check us out and follow us on Instagram. We need all the help we can get. And that is at Balloon Guy LA, BALLOONGUY LA. And yeah, we've got great content up there. TikTok, all of our socials are the same. So it's just Balloon Guy LA. If you're into tips, trends, DIY, our blog on our website has some really cool stuff there. And we're only getting more content up all the time. So please check that out. And follow us, give us some love, give a comment. I'm so glad you're done, because I'm not great at the shameless plug.
Just sweat it out a little bit. This is the first time I've let someone just go for it. All right, here we go. We're gonna look at this answer from GPT. By the way, I'll give them. If you're, do you do mostly local projects in LA? Or I mean, I knew you'll go out. But,
definitely want to do national stuff. But yeah, if anybody out there has jobs, please give me a call. 355
conferences for sure. I mean, like you should
What's
be
that?
getting some Vegas. You should be definitely getting some Vegas conferences, and and just very specific stuff with that, because there's like, that's a no-brainer. All right, this is what it tells me. Here's the math. Total weight 3.63 grams for the baby, about 8 pounds. Goes through. Let's get to the number. You need 454 standard 11-inch helium latex balloons for an 8-pound baby. 400. But they strongly discourage this to do this.
That's it? 500 balloons?
I don't know. Is it calculating one? Is it calculating the string too, though? Oh, 1 gram string, yeah. Yeah. So 3 grams of the balloon, 1 gram string, plus the helium itself and its weight, which is lighter. 454. You want to get an 8-pound. This is your next social. Hey, if I was to float a baby. There you go.
Yeah. Now I just need to go have children,
No, I think you can just use an 8-pound weight. I don't think you get crazier. You can use your dog there, Chance,
Yep.
to do it if you really wanted to. But I think you got to get the right weight where it just kind of hovers, and you can just always pop the balloon 1 or 2, and it can. You got to do it. I mean, you have to do this. It's only 454 balloons. That's like this afternoon. I want to see you float an 8-pound weight.
Next time, have me back. We'll do it.
I'm gonna come down. If you do this, we're gonna float a baby. We're gonna, hey, we want to float your baby, and that's gonna be and someone's gonna agree to it. Like, could you sign this release form?
Right. How much do you weigh to float you?
You know how well your business is gonna do and get hated at the same time.
What's
He
that?
floats babies.
Oh
I'm
my
not
God.
afraid to do anything with balloons. What are you afraid of? The popping noise. All right, Sean. Thank you for coming on today. Appreciate it.
Hey, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
I appreciate it as well. This has been fun. I'm going to put you in the blue room here. I'll be right back, but let me say goodbye and I'll grab you in a minute. But thank you so much for coming on today.
Thank you. Thanks, Thomas.
Listen, guys, this is your first time here. I hope you enjoyed it. Listen, we're trying to help entrepreneurs get creative, get ideas to start businesses, get better at entrepreneurship. Along the way, you're going to run into stuff that's going to get in your way, and that's a tie. It's something you got to cut, so to speak. So if you can learn something from Sean's journey of kind of start small, start simple, say yes to things. He's even trying to still improve his business, his skills. He's experimenting. I'm trying to convince him to float a baby. It's only 454 balloons with strings that weigh about 1 gram. I don't see what the problem is. I think it can't be quite that simple because 454 balloons, you're going to need different like strings, and it can't be. The math doesn't work out. But I think we have a starting point. Under 1,000 balloons, I think we get it done. Just saying, just throwing a challenge out there for Sean. And if he's going to do it, I actually want to fly in and videotape that because that's going to be amazing. Listen, last thing is, check out the podcast on Apple, Spotify. I appreciate everyone watching. Until we get out there and meet again, get out there, go unleash your entrepreneur.